From the Raw Boxing TV studios, your host, Ranger. Information may cause headaches to hates or bias casual fans.
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you.
The host that gives you facts with very little feelings. From the city of the greatest of all time, Muhammad Ali, the man who floats like a butterfly and stings like a bee.
I'm going to show you how great I am.
Louisville, Kentucky. It's showtime.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome once again to Raw Boxing TV, where I speak my mind without filters. When we need to say the things we need to say without being too worried about what other people have to say about what I have to say. There's a bunch of says going on. Let me see, who do we got here? It's Mr. Jesus Garcias. Thank you for being here, sir. El Chido Boxing, what's going on, my brother? Thank you for being here. G Funky in the building. Make sure everybody that is watching this video to take the time to go to G Funky Boxing channel and subscribe to the brother. Subscribe to the brother, and we start supporting good boxing channels, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, you've seen the thumbnail. We ain't got to go into much details. I ain't got to be sitting here and telling you everything that we're gonna, come up with certain subjects. You know what we're gonna talk about. So we're gonna dig. We're gonna try to keep it short, sweet, direct, and we'll work on from there. In the meantime, make sure to hit the thumbs up. Make sure to grab this link and drop it in your comment section in your social media, and that way you can help the channel get a little more exposures. How's that, man? So yeah, man. Boxing does it again. Today I'm going to focus, of course, in the fight soon to be made, hopefully, between Errol Spence Jr. and Yordenis Ugas. By the way, tomorrow, 90% chance of me having Ismael Salas over at the channel tomorrow. So keep that in mind. I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on the fight. I'm not really going to make a prediction just yet. I'm going to save my prediction for later. I think it's wise to do that. And then we'll go a little bit over the whole thing with the Paul brother. We'll go over the situation with Paul, Logan, not Logan Paul, but Jake Paul, and all of the things that's being said about him in regards to his apparent boxing skills. We'll dig into that a little bit. In the meantime, make sure to hit the thumbs up as you guys come in, just to make sure that the channel gets a little more exposure. Not so much the channel, but the live stream. This live stream itself gets a little more exposure out there. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Yordenis Ugas versus Errol Spence. It's a fight that, although a lot of people are not truly happy or fulfilled with it, it is a fight that as of now, I'm going to be a bit biased on this next comment. I'm happy. And I'm happy because, quite frankly, I'm going to be, straightforward, straight shooter. Hell, I'm Cuban. Ugas is Cuban. Not often do you see Cubans getting this opportunity. And so when I see this going on right now, I can't help but to get happy. I'm sorry. That's just the truth. I can't help but to get happy for the brother. Now, a lot of people thought, including myself, that we were finally going to see the fight between Errol Spence Jr. and the fight between Terrence Bud Crawford. Two of the best, if not the two best welterweight in the division. In boxing, I mean. I honestly thought that fight was going to happen. But once again, we're back in square one, wishing for the fight to happen. Once again, we're back in square one, talking about who's ducking who and why is this fight not happening. Once again, we're trying to guesstimate as to why this fight is not happening. But what the world of boxing might have not known or was never told is that Yordenis Ugas and Errol Spence Jr. already had a contract to fight even before the Ugas Pacquiao fight. In fact, I was watching an interview about 3 or 4 days ago from Willie Suarez. Shout out to Willie Suarez, where he had, he went to Ugas' house to interview him, or Ugas came to his house. I can't remember exactly which one of the two ways it was. And where Ugas revealed that, people don't know, but Spence and I already had a contract to fight before he announced his fight with Pacquiao. And I thought that the fight was going to happen. Then they convinced Pacquiao to come back. Pacquiao comes back. They scheduled the fight with Errol Spence. Errol Spence has to pull out because of the eye injury. And quite frankly, it made sense for Ugas to fulfill or to be the substitute for Errol Spence Jr. And so when this happened, obviously, it's no secret to people. It's no secret to people that whenever this fight was announced, I was actually in vacation. I was in no, I'm lying. I was in vacation while the fight was happening. So I was chilling at the beach, Santa Rosa, Florida. And but when the fight was announced, obviously, we Cubans were happy. But a lot of us, and I don't want to say strictly including myself, because I remember telling my brother-in-law, don't sleep on Ugas. Don't sleep on Ugas, because Ugas is the kind of fighter it's kind of like a book that you look at it from the cover and you might think it's boring, but you open the book and you find interesting things about the book. The story gets a little bit interesting. And so I remember really quick, as if it was yesterday, that chilling at the Airbnb, and my brother-in-law is like, yo, Ugas is beating this guy. I said, for real? He's like, yeah, dude. I'm like, I'm not gonna say I told you so. I didn't think he was gonna win, but I told you not to sleep on Ugas because of the style of fighting. Styles make fight in boxing. And although sometimes some styles are suitable for others and still not beat the styles that were suitable to, there's a greater chance when your style of fighting is the perfect fit to defeat the person in front of you. And what I saw in that fight, Pacquiao versus Ugas, and the reason I'm going over the fight is because I never did a video about the fight. I didn't do a prediction video. I didn't do a post-op video. So just to build up and what I have to say about Spence, I'm gonna just go a little bit over that fight. And the first thing I'm gonna say is, when I said the other day that, in my opinion, Cubans are the most hated fighters in the sport of boxing, both from the media standpoint and second from the political standpoint of boxing, because I hope you all know by now that there is such thing as politics in the world of boxing. Just make sure to hit the thumbs up, guys. I forgot to tell you that, so people can start knowing that we're here. So when I said that the other day, I didn't just say that to sound controversial in my live streams. I didn't just say that to fill in and just add to my live stream. I didn't just say that to victimize Cuban fighters. The reason I said that in my live stream the other day is because I honestly believe, based on all the years I've been watching professional boxing, based on the days all the way dating back to Cepillo Casamayor, that Cuban fighters never get a fair share in the world of professional boxing. And so when this kid got to fight with Pacquiao, you could hear the commentators. Every time Yordenis Ugas would beat Pacquiao to the punch, would land combinations on Pacquiao, would suppress Pacquiao attacks by simply doubling on the jab, following it with a nice right hand. All you could hear, the only thing you can hear is, let me mute this down. I keep getting messages. Only thing you could hear is, oh, well, Pacquiao's 42 years of age already. Every time Yordenis Ugas did anything to Pacquiao, oh man, I remember when Pacquiao was younger, that would have never happened. Who cares? They could talk about Pacquiao being 42 years of age all they want to. And I can talk about Floyd Mayweather beating young people up past his 40. I can talk about Bernard Hopkins being a champion into his 50s. I can talk about Foreman being a champion late 40s into his 50s. I can talk about all that. I can tell you that same Manny Pacquiao that you guys are claiming was too old was coming off of defeating Keith Thurman, a much younger fighter, much taller fighter, with much power in his hands. Oh, but when he beat Keith Thurman, the legendary Pacquiao, and don't get me wrong, I love Pacquiao. I always separate Pacquiao from his lunatic fans, not from his fans. Pacquiao, just like every great fighter, has a group of great, knowledgeable boxing fans. But then they have a group of cheerleaders. In the case of Pacquiao, we call them Pacroids and Pactards. G-Funky will know what I'm talking about. We dealt with it for a long time in the YTBC. For a long time. When it comes to Pacquiao, he also has the group of people that don't really like him because he was once a threat for Floyd Mayweather. So I keep those people outside of that too. I don't consider those people Pacquiao fans. But every time Yordenis Ugas did anything against Pacquiao, the commentators made sure that everybody that was sitting in front of the TV knew, hey, the reason this is happening is because Pacquiao is old. In fact, you don't believe me, go back. I was looking at the fight highlights. And if you look at the fight highlights, more than half of the video, all they're showing you is what Pacquiao is doing, not what Ugas is doing. And that wasn't even a close fight, in my opinion. That wasn't even a close fight. For them to take the time to take a 3-minute video, and within those 3-minute videos, almost half of the video show you nothing but what Pacquiao was doing to Ugas, tells you the bias already in favor of Pacquiao and against Ugas. Because in my opinion, Ugas won anything from 8 to 9 rounds out of that fight. There shouldn't be any reason why half of the video you put out with the fight highlights is Pacquiao doing things to Ugas. There shouldn't be any reasons for that. And so, Ugas beats Pacquiao, great moment in history for Cuban boxing, yada, yada, yada. Right? Now, with all of that in mind, and excuse me, because obviously I'm still sick. With all of that in mind, if Crawford and Errol Spence do not fight, don't you think that Ugas, after doing what he's done, after retaining his WBA super champ belt, don't you think he's He should be the one next to fight Errol Spence if Crawford and Errol Spence is not fighting. I certainly think he should be. I will have a hard time understanding as to why you don't think Ugas is deserving of this shot. After all, Yordenis Ugas has done everything in boxing to position himself to be where he's at today. Oh, Ranger, he's got 4 losses. Yes, when he came from Cuba, horrible start to his career. You remember? Oh, matter of fact, I was going to have Gonzalez today, but I'm going to have him probably Friday. Unieski Gonzalez Friday on the channel. Tomorrow night, Ismael Salas on the channel. But when Ugas came to the United States, just like every other Cubans, they had to face the dark horses outside of boxing. The dark horses outside of boxing came for them. Ugas was starving himself to make weight on a division he'd never belonged. In fact, Ugas was thinking of retiring from boxing until Ismael Salas got a hold of him. And the first thing Ismael Salas told him is, put food on your mouth and gain some weight. That's the reason you're not performing. You're literally draining yourself. Y'all remember Salas said that here in the channel whenever I had him back? And since he's been with Salas, he fought four consecutive undefeated fighters, took their O's. One of them was Delorme. Remember Delorme was coming, just destroying people left and right with a lot of power? In fact, he even dropped Ugas. And what happened? Ugas beat him. Then Ugas got robbed. Yes, sir. I'm going to say it again. Ugas got robbed against Sean Porter. He got robbed against Sean Porter. And so when you look at the whole entire story of Yordenis Ugas, what he's done, the work, the kind of work he's put in the sport of boxing, you can't help but to say, nah, this kid deserves a shot at Errol Spence. Hell, Ugas was trying to get a little bit of a Terrence Crawford. Ugas was saying, hey, I schooled him in the amateurs. I beat him really easy. I think I can beat him in the pros again. He should give me a shot. You ain't never heard Crawford talk about Ugas. Never. In fact, the media never even put air into that balloon. Because if you don't put air, the balloon's smaller, less visible. So, we might think Ugas doesn't deserve the shot. I, on the other hand, think he does deserve the shot. Although as a boxing fan, I wanted to see the two titans of the division go head to head. But this fight right here is between two titans as well. Except one is a little less popular than the other. The fight is to be announced. Rumors are that the fight should be announced somewhere for April of next year. I'll ask Ismael Salas tomorrow when I have him on the channel to see if he knows something, because Salas is the kind of guy that stays away from that. All he wants to do is focus on training his fighter, and that's it. He doesn't get in the politics of the sport. He doesn't get in the politics of the sport. And I don't blame him. I don't like the politics in the sport either. I don't like the business aspect of the sport. I don't like dealing with promoters or managers or none of that stuff. Just give me a ring, a bag, double end bag, speed bag, and give me a fighter. That's all I want. That's Salas, and that's how I am. That's how I've always been too. I don't care about the business side of the sport. But this fight right here, if it does comes to fruition, this fight has a lot of potential. And I would dare to say, once again, do not sleep on Ugas. Do not sleep on Ugas. for this fight. I get it. And I wouldn't even rebuttal if you say, Ranger, you're being biased. Because I understand. I understand. Ranger, you're being biased. Ugas is Cuban and so are you, and that is the reason you're giving him that much credit, and that's the reason you're saying the things that you're saying. But at the end of the day, whether I'm Cuban or I'm Chinese, everything I've told you about Ugas is receipts you can go back and look at throughout his career. Then you can add the me being Cuban all you want to. I don't care. But that's just a fact. I'm giving you a straight fact. A straight fact. Now, Errol Spence is another individual that has not had a lot of luck in his career, to be quite honest with you. And yes, I get it. Parts of it was his own doing. Parts of it was his own decision, his own, calling the wrong shots. That night when he decided to act like Michael Schumacher in his supercar, and he was, I believe, under the influence, and he got into that horrible accident. And just before you thought you'd seen it all, just before you thought that he was going to fight Pacquiao, a fight that, quite frankly, he had been wanting for years, and we have been wanting for years, he gets the eye injury. He gets the eye injury. So he's been a bit inactive. So both of these fighters now have something to prove. One, Errol Spence has to prove that not only that he is, in fact, the man, he has to prove that his eye is back to 100%. He has to make a statement that night of that fight. He has to make a statement against Ugas. He has to make a statement that sends a very clear message to the other side. Y'all know who I'm talking about. And Ugas has to make a bigger statement. Not only can I beat Errol Spence, but once I beat Errol Spence, I want the man I've already beaten. In fact, I want the man I've already easily schooled. I want Terrence Bud Crawford. That's simple. That simple. And so if this fight comes to fruition, hell, I don't care if it's pay-per-view. Matter of fact, it will be a pay-per-view. Because Errol Spence is a pay-per-view star. So it will be a pay-per-view. And honestly speaking, I don't care if that pay-per-view costs $100. I'm going to pay for it. I'm going to pay for it. Not just for boxing, but I'm going to pay for it because I'm going to support my Cuban guy. But once I do the prediction video for this fight, I'm going to do the prediction video raw and uncut, whether some of my homies like it or hate it. Because here at Raw Boxing TV, I want to say it the way it is. I'm not here to please you. I'm here to say it how I'm thinking it. So we'll wait for that fight. Hopefully it does come to fruition. And if it does, then I'll drop my prediction video on it. And moving on to... oh, my goodness. Things are getting a little interesting. Moving on. After I talk about this fight, I'm going to go to the comments. And I'll get caught up with the comments. Moving on to our next. Oh, goodness. Let me see if I can bring out the picture here for you guys. Yeah, because we got to keep boxing. We got to talk about boxing and, the things that's going on in boxing and the potential matchups that are probably going to happen in boxing. So next, we're going to talk about the rumors that Mr. Chavez Jr. is being entertained as Jake Paul's next opponent. And now Jake Paul has been growing his fame, obviously, out here in boxing, calling himself a boxer while not fighting any boxers. And he's bringing the money, he's bringing the crowd, and people are excited about it. So I guess with that in mind, I guess we're going to have to start talking about Jake Paul. We're going to have to kind of get used to it because honestly speaking, even if he gets completely destroyed by a boxer, he's still going to be somebody in the entertaining business inside of the square circle. I already seen it. This is a tick. This is a tick that's not going away. And he's sucking a lot of blood and getting fat. Sucking a lot of blood and getting fat. But it's quite interesting, if this fight does comes to fruition, what I will give the kid credit is, one, he just like Canelo, believe it or not. I can't even believe that phrase just came out of my mouth. But just like Canelo, he's fought a few, more than 2 times in a year. So he's keeping the entertainment, the show going, right? And the other credit I'm going to give him, if this fight comes to fruition, is that he's finally going to fight a real boxer, even though that this boxer is no longer what he used to be, and even though that this boxer has already lost against an MMA fighter, at least he can say, I'm going to fight a boxer. And now my question is, Tyron Woodley got $2 million from what I hear. My question is, Chavez Jr., will he get $2 million? Will he get 3? Will he get 4? And if he does get 4, is he going to be just content with that and just go out there and collect another paycheck? Or is he actually going to train his hardest to protect his last name so that no YouTuber can say, I beat the son of the legend? What is he going to do? That's my question. Is Chavez Sr. going to allow this fight to happen? I mean, because let's be real, we saw at least I saw a glimpse of this man's last fight. It was horrible. It was horrible. They even had to put some type of smelling salt in his corner to get him to finish the fight with energy. And then they put something in his mouth. They have not explained that, what it is yet. They haven't explained what it is just yet. But we all saw it. We all saw it. It was sitting there, and the coach was very clever. The coach knew the camera was on this side. So he puts the water bottle here, and then he puts the substance next to the water bottle mouth, and he puts the water bottle in the mouth. But after he drinks the water, you can see him chewing something. And then he hits the nasal spray on the other side of the water bottle, and he shoots it in there. And we're watching. All that was done just so that he was able to finish that fight. And so I think that if there was ever a good time for Jake Paul to fight a real boxer and look good doing it, not only does the opponent have to be Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., but the timing is now. Because if Tyron Woodley got $2 million to fight Jake Paul, I dare say that Jake Paul might give Mr. Chavez Jr. anywhere $4 to $5 million. Mexican fans behind him from Mexico that still support him because he is the son of the legend. Being a real boxer, being a former world champion self, I guarantee you there's going to be money to be made in that fight. I guarantee you that. I strictly see Chavez Jr. demanding double, if not a little more than double, than what Tyron Woodley got, except for the Rolex, though. Except for the Rolex, unless Jake Paul volunteers to give him a Rolex. I mean, it's time that we see him against a boxer. Right? And if he's gonna do something in his career, I say this is the right boxer to throw him in there with. Doesn't have heart anymore. Doesn't train hard anymore. Seems to have zero reflex left in him. Carries a legendary name. Former world champion. Seems to go to the corner and not come out when things get a little rough. I don't know about y'all, but if I was Jake Paul's corner, I'll be like, we need to do this now. Now, I personally wanted to see Jake Paul versus Anderson Silva. That's just me. But I think he knows Anderson Silva ain't going to come and just get hit. Anderson Silva is one of the few MMA strikers fighters that actually knows how to strike. Especially after Anderson Silva, what he did to Chavez Jr. I almost guarantee you that Anderson Silva, although Anderson Silva did offer himself, I don't think Anderson Silva will be the one to get the chance to fight Jake Paul. So I'm hoping this fight actually gets done. One, because serves two purposes. One, if Jake Paul's actually going to take this boxing stuff serious, aside from his persona inside of the ring, and me personally want to see him fight a real boxer. And if he beats Chavez Jr., he's actually doing me a favor. Because I can't stand Chavez Jr. The way he represents the last name that he carries, I don't want to see him in boxing anymore. And I feel that if Jake Paul beats him, then he will become such a big joke in boxing that we can easily forget about Chavez Jr. Now, Chavez Jr., like any other boxer, has the chance to redeem himself. All he's got to do is train. Take things serious. Take things serious. Go into that ring with the aggression you had when you was 19, 20, and 21 years of age. Go to the body relentlessly the way you did back in those days. Go up there and at least bring with you a little bit of pride to represent the last name that you got on you, brother. That's all you got to do. But if he doesn't, then Jake Paul's doing me a favor. I don't know your thoughts on that. Make sure to drop it in the comment section. I hope the fight gets made. So wanted to just give you guys my thought on those two fights. And so we'll leave it at that for now. I'm going to go to the comments now and send a shout out to all of those of you that have supported this very, very, very short live stream tonight. Remember, tomorrow we're going to have Ismael Salas. It'll probably be somewhere around 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time or later. You'll see the link pop up. And Friday, possibly going to have Yordenis Gonzalez. So we'll see. So just stay tuned to that. You get caught up here in the comments and see if you guys have any questions and go over it. Jesus Garcia, welcome to the building, man. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, man, it's that fight probably will get made. Cheeto boxing, G-Funky boxing. What's going on, my brother? I'm excited for this fight. Yeah, man, me too. I'm excited for Errol versus Ugas. Definitely am. Alex Gonzalez in the building. Thank you for being here, brother. Thank you for the support. Thank you. Yeah, until Crawford joins PBC, Earl won't fight. It's sad to see. Of course, that's that's the part of boxing people are ignoring. It's the whole political circle in the sport of boxing. It's the whole, you don't belong to my circle of network, so I ain't giving you nothing to eat. The whole stupidity that I wish would just disappears. And quite frankly, I think that I quite frankly, in part, I blame not only the networks, but I blame the sanctioning bodies. Sometimes I gotta blame the sanctioning bodies because I feel now track with me on this one. I feel that if the sanctioning bodies, if there's a champion, say in Top Rank, and there's a champion in PBC, and the sanctioning bodies decide that the guy in Top Rank is the mandated a boxer to fight the one on PBC, or else we got to strip him of the title. Sometimes they don't come through. Sometimes the fight don't come through, and stripping of the title don't come through. And that's where they have to take a better blame themselves. They have to. They have to. But we'll see what happens with Crawford. It's time to roll. The GOAT, Mario P, in the building. What's up, my brother? Thank you for being here. Happy holidays, brother. Thank you. Happy holidays to you and your loved ones. God bless every single one of you guys. Every single one of you guys. Don't eat too much. Nah, screw it. Eat. You know what? Just eat. Just eat. And don't be those people that like, for my New Year's resolution, I want to lose 10 pounds. And then you expect to lose 10 pounds in your couch, homie. That ain't gonna happen. Just eat and then hit the gym for the New Year's resolution. How's that? How's that? Let's do that. G Funky Boxing once again. Ugas was at mid-range with the Pacquiao, and people still complain about Ugas. Cuban fighters get no respect. I'm glad you know it, G. I'm glad you was able to see and notice that too. Because it's the same example I gave about Rigondo the other day. When Rigondo was coming up in the professional ranks, and people, his corner started saying, Alex Bernot, his manager / attorney, told him, listen, people are saying you don't engage enough. He started engaging, and he started getting hit, and he started hitting people back, and he started knocking people out, and he knocked 4 consecutive people in a row. And they still said he was a runner. They still said he was a runner. So I'm glad you know it, G. I'm glad you know it. Cheeto Boxing. I'm edging Ugas on this fight. Spence being out for long, and Ugas confident of a win over Pacquiao. He's been a great fighter in the shadows. Like I said, he's a book that you judge outside, but when you start reading it, you start discovering things that are very interesting about Ugas. And not just Ugas. Remember, guys, this is a clash of corners. This is a clash of corners. And I hope you guys understand. I get it. The politics of boxing says that Spence trainer is trainer of the year. Congratulations. I'm not denying nothing like that. I don't care. But what Ugas has in his corner is somebody that actually understands boxing from the technical amateur level to the pros. That has created over 32 world champion and professional ranks all throughout Europe and Asia. That has created many Olympic gold medalists, Pan American gold medalists, Cardo-Bacardi winners, El Carabobo winners. So he's got somebody in the corner that knows what he's doing. Look at all the fighters that go to Ismael Salas, Cubas Arias Jr. Still not a great thing, but he did something different. He it's like a new fighter. Look at the Dominican fighters Salah has. He's got 2 of them. They raise the blades, boy. So I'm telling you guys, this is going to be a nice clash. I'm telling you. Gonzalez here said, nah, have you seen that the treatment they gave legends like Sweet Pea got? Man, he was most robbed. I agree. In fact, I thought Sweet Pea got robbed against De La Hoya. I thought he did. Now, in part, it's his fault because he should have done a little more. Instead, he focused on defending more without putting up the punches. But I still thought that he got robbed in that fight because you can't win a fight by killing mosquitoes in the air. That's what Oscar De La Hoya was doing. Chushan Boxing in the building. What's up, brother? Thank you for being here. El Chido Boxing. We got the Pacquiao versus Mayweather. Too late, but I never thought Pacquiao could beat him. No, neither did I. Pagan War Master. What's up, my brother? What's up? Thank you for being here. Octavio Dominguez. Yeah, this is a good fight, but the problem is with Errol's stalling 3 years to fight Crawford, and now 4 years. And still not even a negotiation. It's more unfair for Crawford. It's the politics, man. It's the politics. But like we were talking about a little earlier, hopefully with Crawford not being with Top Rank no more, with Crawford actually making a jump to PBC, I believe he's going to make the jump to PBC. Although honestly speaking, I would have much rather see Crawford go to the Zone, because the Zone and PBC seem to have a pretty good relationship. They collaborated. And if you want money right now, money and additives to your legacy, I think the Zone is the one doing it. I think the fight would have still happened if Crawford went to the Zone. I truly do. Pagan War Masters here. Spence waiting for Crawford to be 45 so he can. Don't say that. No, I honestly don't believe none of these fighters are scared of each other. They're too good. They're too confident on themselves. The politics in the sport is nasty. I'm telling you guys, the politics in the world of boxing is disgusting. Super nasty. Super nasty. Trust me. Ugas has a great chance of winning. I hope, man. I hope. I truly hope. Kevin Morales, good evening, everyone. What's up, my brother? Thank you for being here. Jake, honestly, beers Chavez. Pagan, think Jake would smoke Chavez Jr. Hey, honestly speaking, that's completely up to Chavez. Yeah, you heard me right. That's up to Chavez. Chavez Jr. holds in his hand whether he's going to allow Jake Paul to beat him or not. Because Paul's only going to win an 8-round fight. Maybe a 10 max. Most likely 8 rounds. It's completely up to Chavez Jr. whether he wants to be a meme or the guy that came into the ring and said, you know what? You don't belong in this ring, kid. The hell out of here. I'm telling you. OG Sinister in the building. Salute, Ranger. You're a real one. You choose knowledge of nonsense. You chose knowledge. Appreciate you, man. I do my best. I try to stay away from the drama as much as possible. Let me lower the music because I want to elaborate a little bit. I want to go into this comment a little bit. Understand something. I'm a grown man. You see this? That's gray hairs in my beard. That's gray hairs in my damn hair. I got 4 kids. I ain't got no time. To be fighting over a screen. No time. Absolutely no time to fight over a screen. Thank you, baby. I got no time to fight over a screen with anybody. And understand something so that you may understand this right now about Raw Boxing TV, about Ranger from Raw Boxing TV. Yours truly. With this whole drama stuff that's going on with the name of Punch, understand something. Punch is his own man. I'm my own man. If I'm asked to pray for somebody because of something, my job as a man, my job mostly as a Christian is to do just that. My job's not to figure out whether it's true or not, especially because I'm of the belief that if everything that I've been praying for was just a hoax, the person that invented the hoax has to deal with it with God himself, not with me. So y'all got me twisted. All them people coming to my channel like, where your energy at? All those guys posting comments in the video like, where your energy at? Why aren't you calling out Punch? I don't have to call up. In fact, I have no reason not to believe Punch. I have no reasons not to believe the man. I don't care if he was a hoax or not, because I'm not the one with the power behind the prayer. I'm just a prayer messenger. And quite frankly, I grew up in a culture where, man, if I got beef with Punch, I don't need to go to G Funky channel to drop comments on G Funky video to talk bad about Punch. I go straight to Punch. But today's generation of man, today's generation of man is the type of Twitter warrior. It's the type of keyboard warrior. It's the type of in front of a camera warrior that thinks I have to go fight with Punch because Punch asked me, his wife asked me to pray for him, and somehow people think that whatever it was a hoax. I ain't got to fight nobody. I'm a grown man. I already prayed for the brother. I believe in miracles. I gave you all the stories about my grandpa. Leg surgery and brain surgery. A tumor extracted out of his brain through the nose, out of the hospital. 18 days. Out of the hospital, 18 days. Ranger, 18, leg surgery and brain surgery, 18 days out the hospital. And I'm going to tell y'all something. Before y'all take my words and twist them to create your own narratives in your own personal channels, I think you guys should think that there are people out here that are stupid, but there's a lot of smart people out here too. Because I see a lot of y'all saying that I said Punch wasn't going to be back for months. And what I said was might. That word might has a meaning. I suggest you look for it in the dictionary. Okay? And English ain't even my first language, homie. So I appreciate you, OG. I try to stay outside of the nonsense. I took a 6-year. Oh, that's another one. Supposedly Punch got $3,000 in some GoFundMe account, and he gave me a cut out of that. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to tell you that if that was the case, we will be generating hoax after hoax, and y'all still will eat it, because y'all see Dante and Aki, they generate a lot of false stories, and people still eat them. But that's not what we do. That's not what we do. I make too much money to be involved in crap like that. I have proved to every single one of you that's been subscribed to me since the beginning that I do not make the money to survive in YouTube, nor do I care to stay in YouTube. I've bounced for 6 years, came back a year ago, and I've taken 2 or 3 over a month worth of breaks. So when people come and tell me, oh, I heard this live stream of this guy was talking about you and Punch. You need to go over and get on him. I ain't got to do nothing. Let that dude talk about me all he wants to. If he's getting super chats and thumbs up, congratulations. If whoever it is that y'all talking about is talking about me, they can call me. They can get in touch with me. I'm not falling in these games that's being played by people that's older than me, and I'm 36 years of age. That's what's crazy. So tomorrow, if something happened to OG Sinister and they tell me pray for OG, I'll pray for OG. Then OG comes out like, oh, well, it was just a hoax. Okay, what are you trying to say? What am I supposed to do? Take the prayers back? No. It now is between OG and the man upstairs. So before people go around talking about like, oh man, oh, and I know right now some of y'all's watching. Some of y'all's watching. Yeah, y'all watching. Y'all watching. Yeah. I'm not a rookie in YouTube, man. Been doing this since 2008. I know the YouTube boxing fan base like the back of my hand. All this drama that's going on right now, you think this is new to me? Y'all must be stupid to think this is something new to me. I thrive in the middle of this. I thrived. And then I took a 6-year break. So the video is not coming down. The video will stay up because I don't delete footprints. I got nothing to be ashamed of. And I've talked to Punch already. They saying you saying this, I don't care. That's between you and God. If it's all a hoax, between Punch and God. Ranger has no business seeking vengeance on nobody. In fact, Ranger has matured enough to where if one of y'all comes up to me talking about I want to fight you, I'll probably run. The only way I won't run is if you touch one of my kids, my wife, or if you touch me. As long as you ain't touch me, I'll take off running. I don't need to fight y'all, but don't touch me. It's called maturity. You think I'm going to allow some beef in the middle of YouTube? Some little beef across some computer screens? Define who I am as a man? Man, go eat some ice cream. Put some baby oil between your cheeks. Moving on. I'm sorry, OG, but I thought your comment was suitable for the very thing I needed to say. Let's make things happy a little more while we finish. Did you see Chavez Jr. against Silva? Parts of the fight, I thought it was embarrassing. I thought it was crazy. The fact that this kid is still putting up these levels of performance. I think he needs to really, really reevaluate his career. And if he does take a fight with Jake Paul, if the fight does come to fruition, again, I say it's in his hands. It's in his hands. It's up to Chavez Jr.'s hands. It's up to him whether Paul wins or not. If he truly wants to be, I guess, on top of the bar, man, he will eat that gym up, represent his father's last name, and come and destroy Jake Paul. But if he's just coming for the payday, then he gonna get destroyed. He gonna get destroyed. Chavez can't fight on the U.S. though. He has been permanently banned, I believe. No, you are correct. You are correct, sir. It was back on. Anyway, yeah, back, I believe before the Anderson Silva fight. I believe that's when it was. El Chido Boxing. FTP. I'm not going to say what those acronyms mean. FTP. F that. He don't care for the last name anymore since he came out on high heels. I think he uses perico. I think that kid uses some lines, bro, for real. I'm not even lying. I think he on perico, bro. For real. Mexican fans? Where? I'm from Mexico. I don't even pay attention to him. You may not, but I'm looking at how the stadiums are at whenever he fights. Because you got to remember something. The fact that people respect his father, those very people that respect his father, when the father's sons fights, the father is going to be in the crowd. People is going to go up to that fight. Some of them will fake the support. Some will have some type of support, but they going to be there because the father going to be there and the son going to be there. Trust me, Morales. I'm telling you, my brother. I'm telling you. And remember something, Morales. A lot of casual fans don't really know or see the things you and I see as boxing fans. They just see the last name and they're like, let's go. And they go, bro. Chavez fans, raise your hand. I guarantee no one. Oh, dude, you evil today. You evil today. Jake Paul would spark Anderson Silva. Chillax on that one. Maybe not. You don't know. Ulysses, what's up, man? Tommy Fury versus Jake Paul is way more interesting. Either Tommy or people like Nate Diaz and Masvidal. I think Masvidal was, if the $5 million offer is legit, I think Masvidal is going to bite the hook. And Masvidal, like I told people, this kid started in the bare knuckle street circle on the stand up. He ain't afraid to go in there and exchange. But he wants money. He ain't stupid. He wants some of that pie. Shoot, I would too. All of y'all would too. Major Keep Boxing in the building. Everybody subscribe to Major Keep Boxing. Everybody. My brother, mi puertorriqueño de Florida. De la Florida. Chavez Jr. Definitely. I'm not repeating that last part. Absolutely not. I'm not repeating the last part. Let me see. What else we got here? Shoe Shine Boxing. Raw. I just noticed that bat ass. Sure, mic upgrade. Oh, yeah, man. You know, I gotta put in the work for y'all, man. Appreciate you, though. Legendary microphone, man. Been around since the 60s. You know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's the name of the game. If it ain't broke, don't you dare fixing it. George James in the building. What's going on, brother? Thank you for being here. Ugas is a tough and smart competitor. Spence also doesn't look like his old form. I agree, but never doubt the fact that he does have the skills to read the pace of the fight and change the pace of the fight. And I gotta be honest with you guys too, man. Inactivity inside the ring doesn't affect fully a lot of fighters. I mean, there's fighters that are not active in the ring, but they're still active in the gym, if you know what I mean. And they come back and they put on a good performance, good preparation, good nutrition on the lead up to the fight. The body acknowledges that and appreciates that. George James, Ugas might upset Spence Jr., but has to completely shut him down because we all know that politics plays a role. Sir, I cannot agree with you more. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if that right there happens. I wouldn't be surprised if Ugas just edges the fight out and still goes to Spence Jr. I'm telling you. You throw away jab and straight counter defense for the opposition fighters when when the fighter's throwing them is trying to figure out a distance. Well, yeah, the jab is the key to opens every single door to the house. You can build an entire game plan, and it has to be off the jab. The jab's the one thing that allows you to suppress your opponent. The jab's the one thing that allows you to break your opponent's guard. The jab is the one thing that allows you to stop your opponent so you can gain movement on him. The jab's the one thing that allows you to make your opponent think, to make your opponent reset, to make yourself reset as well. Boom, move aside, get back in a comfortable position. I'm telling you, knowledge over nonsense, always, my brother, always. Oh, no, I'm not blaming you on anything, OG. I'm simply saying, I simply use your comment, the last part of your comment, knowledge over nonsense, on the other comment, because I've been hearing my name being used too much around the circles. So far, not in my live stream. There's the very people, some of the people that is out there talking about me, they here today saying, "What's up, man?" But it's all good, man, because Ranger doesn't hold grudges. We're here to talk about boxing. We're here to talk about boxing. HLD in the building. Boricua te llevo dentro. Muy dentro de mi corazón. What's up, brother? What's up? Yo, no. What's up, my brother? Thank you for being here. I mean to say, you choose knowledge over nonsense. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Punch Drunk Boxing in the building. What is going on, man? I got your text, but I was live stream, bro. I was doing my live stream. And so had to clear out some of the legal smoke, like the very things we talked on the phone. Let these folks know we mature folks out here. We grown men. We real men out here. I ain't going. Let's see here. Pagan War Master here says, if Chavez Jr. wears his heels versus Jake Paul, he has a height advantage for sure. Dude, you guys are evil, bro. You guys are evil, bro. You guys got zero chill, bro. Zero chill on y'all. For real. Chavez Jr., after the Canelo fight, mentally, he was never the same. Yes, but I think G-Funk is still here. He'll tell you guys. I took so much hate when I used to tell people all the time, and this is why I know this kid has a very loyal fan base. Believe it or not, very loyal fan base in Mexico. When the rumors about him and Sergio La Maravilla Martinez started erupting, I had another channel called Acuba 09, the one I closed down. I started saying to people, Martinez is going to destroy that kid. Oh, boy. Did y'all know what I had to deal with? Oh, Ranger, you hate Mexicans, even though I'm married to one. Ranger, you hate me, even though my kids are half Mexicans. They could not differentiate the fact that the emotional from what I was telling them. I was telling them boxing. I was talking boxing with them. I was telling them how this guy throws his punches. What does he do with his legs? How does he manage distance? The counterclock movement that he does. I was telling them all of this to try to open their eyes and let them see the day the fight happens, although your heart is with Chavez, let your wallet be with Martinez. And they never listened to me. And the rest is history. The rest is history. You know, it is what it is. So I think it was way before the Canelo fight. This kid, once he reached a level, he thought of himself just like his father. And he was never his father. Ever his father. He's never represented the last name at all. In fact, When you look at the TV shows from Mexico, when it comes to boxing with Flight de Son and all them people in A Los Golpes, I don't know the name of the show, but y'all know what I'm talking about. And Chavez Senior is there, and they ask him, Julio, ¿qué pasa con tu hijo? He's like, este chamaco, hijo de la chingada. Ya le he dicho que si no va a entrenar en serio, que se retire. Translation, this little son of a beep, I've already told him if he's not going to take things serious just to retire. His own father. His own father. So, I mean, not Ranger, his own father. His own father. Guido, what's up, my brother? What's up, my brother? What's up, my brother? What is up, my brother? Let's see. You're getting caught up with the comments here. My wife is tripping. You tripping, dude. Why you putting this comment here, dude? Why you putting this? Hey, yo, my wife is trolling me on my own live stream, dog. For real. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, should I drop the link? Y'all want to talk? If not, I'll just close it up. Just let me know. Post it while I take a little bit of tea here. Fact, I'm gonna drop the link, and I want the retractors or whoever wants to have a normal conversation about the subject to jump in. Because I get that it's comfortable and easy to talk about me behind my back on other people's live streams, but here it is, man. I'm opening the door. Make sure if you see make sure to hit the link with YouTube, not the one with Twitch. Because if you hit the one with Twitch, it's gonna ask you to open a Twitch account and all that good stuff. So just make sure to hit whoever calls in, make sure to hit the link with the YouTube emblem. Man, oh man. Yes, sir. Boxing is hot, ladies and gentlemen. Boxing is hot. And I appreciate those of you that are here. I know for a fact that in the middle of this group watching me right now, there's somebody taking notes. Somebody that might puff their chest as being tough, guys. All I'm saying is I'm here. You don't have to talk about me in other channels. I've never ran away from talking to anybody. I've always had an open platform. In fact, I think I'm going to keep an open platform regardless of how small or big the channel gets. So there is the link. You want to show love? Show love. You want to come here and talk to me about why I should be hating Punch? Or why I should be doing whatever it is you think I should be doing? Come on in here and talk to a brother. Let's chop it up like grown folk. And this ain't even like grown men because we still through a screen. The nonsense of the internet. The nonsense of the internet. Did I miss any comments? Let me go back. Did I miss any comments? So I guess nobody's going to be calling in. That's fine. But I thought, I'll always give the opportunity. I always give the opportunity. So when people is like, oh, well, they talking about you. Okay, fine. Let them talk about me because they ain't talking to me about me. They really not. HLD in a building. What's up, my brother?
¿Cómo estamos, Ranger?
Bro, I'm still sick, man. It's been over a week. I'm still coughing. I mean, it's killing me, bro.
Oh, man. You got any antibiotics for them bleeding ears, man?
Oh, hold on. I gotta do it. Because I guess we're gonna talk, and so I guess we gotta be fair. So let's do this for a minute. Warning. Your feelings might Warning. Your feelings might get hurt. Viewers' discretion is advised. The following information may cause bleeding to brittled ears. If you are a fanboy and you ride on your emotions, please exit the live stream. You have been fairly warned. What's up, man? How you doing?
¿Cómo estamos, hermano?
We're good, man. We're good. We're good. I've been just trying to get some rest on this vocal cords of the past few days, and you know, just reading comments, and I didn't realize how many comments I got on that video that we did, and I'm reading and I'm like, oh, interesting. You know, interesting.
Yeah, man. It's actually very, very it's funny. It's funny in a sense. You know, don't get me wrong. Sometimes you like, you know, el machismo de uno adentro wants to, you know, react, right? But knowing this whole game and we know what it does, it just adds fuel to the fire. You know what I mean?
Correct.
And so I see that too. But I like what you said earlier. I was glad I caught you. You were right in the middle, starting to talk about the topic and how you felt about it. And who do we leave it up to? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You know, you know, hey, if you know, my thing was, hey, you know, it could have been anybody. Hey, man, I wish you well. I'm gonna pray, you know, and if I have a platform anywhere and anybody's panel to spread the word and just say, yo, man, you know, keep so and so in your prayers, whether it be Punch, whether it be anybody else. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, you know. But unfortunately, we got a community of straight up. I mean, I want to. I had so much I want to say, but I'm gonna have to try to keep it PG-13. Of I guess trolls. They just call them trolls, and that's just very, very PG. Men out there that are pathetic.
I disagree with that last word you said. I grew up in a different culture. Man is considered the you know, to call a man. Oof. Males.
Okay, males. You see what I mean? You see my word. I'm trying to keep it clean on your show.
Yeah, but you know,
it's una putita, man. Let me just call it what it is. But you know, I mean,
and the thing is, man, like, I don't understand how they expect anybody to feel the obligation to show anybody proof about anything at all. That's one. But before, I did wanted to ask you a question though. What exactly did you buy with the money Punch paid you? Because I'm gonna buy my kids some Christmas gifts.
Oh shit, bro! I got a 5-star hotel, you know,
For real,
resort
for real
in Cancun, ready to roll.
Damn, son.
Ready to roll.
He must have paid you a lot more than he paid me, because I was only able to afford a few gifts for my kids.
I'm the guy with no channel, you know, so I gotta get a little bit more.
For real, man. He must have paid you.
Coño, man.
He must have paid you so much money, man. A lot more than he paid me. Hey, Punch, hit at me, because you collected all that money and gave HLD a lot more than you gave me, man.
Hey, I'm a better negotiator, and I don't even have the man's number.
So HLD, to bring it back to boxing for now.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on the Ugas, and then give me your thoughts of the potential fight between the two suspects. Let me bring up the picture here, just so that you get the idea of what we're talking about.
I didn't see that. Oh man. Let's go to the Spence and Ugas. That's
all right.
I don't know what. I mean, I see a lot of thumbnails, see a lot of, you know, crying out there, or whatever. And I think it's what's been always planned all along. It was this to unify those belts, one
Correct.
way or the other. That was what the plan always was. I don't know why anybody's acting like surprised or anything, but I think it's a phenomenal fight. I like it for Ugas.
Me too.
I think Ugas has got a great chance. I think he's a much smarter boxer now than back then, and it's going to be a great fight. I think this is going to be a great fight. And as far as then the Spence and we're saying if it's going to be Spence, if he is to win, then it makes it an even bigger fight to be undisputed. Late next year versus Crawford, if that's
Correct.
what happens to be. But regardless of who it is, it's gonna. I mean, I think it's just a great fight. I'm happy for it. It is what it is to me. I just love it. I think it's gonna be a great fight.
Is Ugas deserving of the shot or not, in your opinion?
Absolutely, you're a champion. Look, it's the same thing that I say. I don't like Boo Boo Andrade. I don't like too much of his flair the way he fights. But the man is a champion, and so when you're a champion, you earn the right either to unify or to be dethroned.
Correct.
And that's what I think. He's a champion. He was first gifted the belt, but then he earned it against the man that it was gifted it by. So now he is, to me, a real champion. And
Yeah.
now, hey, yeah, of course, he earns the right. And hey, we know the business of boxing. I mean, they're under the same house, and I mean, I don't know why anybody's acting surprised or shocked about it.
Correct.
I mean, that's the smart business move to do, is to try to keep the belts in house and then move forward.
Yeah. Well, and what's crazy about it is people don't realize that this fight was supposed to happen before the Pacquiao fight, and then there was paperwork already signed for it too, and then another thing people don't realize is that this kid has done everything that needs to be done to be in the position where he's at today, and let me tell you how crazy things the politics in boxing is against. I want to say Cuban fighters, but in this case, Ugas, because that's the one we're talking about. Let me tell you how crazy the politics against Ugas is. The WBA was mandating the super champ, something that has never happened in the history of the WBA, was mandating the super champ to enter a tournament and defend his title in a tournament. Ugas took to the internet, and he said the things he had to say. He went to the internet in raw fashion, without filters. Entire weeks talking about how unfair the WBA was doing, reading the WBA history, being an activist for himself, and then also an activist for the situation in our island, right?
Mm-hmm.
And right after that, he gets a call from one of the members, which if Salas reveals it tomorrow, I'll leave that up to Salas. Right now, I'm just gonna call him a member of the WBA. How's that? Saying that the president was very offended by your choice of words yesterday. And Ugas said, well, I'm sorry. If I offended somebody, it wasn't my intention. All I did was read the history of the sanctioning body. If your own history offends you, that's not on me. That's on you all. And then right after that, the announcement came out that, the fight was approved and all that good stuff. So it shows that sometimes you got to take to the streets, and you got to speak for yourself. You can't leave things in the hands of your promoter, in the hands of your management, in nobody else's hands. In fact, that was one of the advices Ugas was getting. Hey, dude, just be quiet. Let your promoter and your advisor handle this. He said, nah, screw that. I'm talking. And he got it. It went deep enough to the point that the president of the sanctioning body felt offended by the history of the sanctioning body.
It's a fact. It's a fact, though. I mean, and the thing is that they were doing him wrong. I supported him when he was, trying to appeal the mandatory fight,
Right.
and who knows? Maybe it would end up being costing them money for step aside money, and put some money in this kid's pocket or whatever, and But regardless of the fact, I think it's he's earned it. He's earned it as a champion. He's earned it by right because it's just the way things been. And then all of a sudden they want to change the cards on him on
Correct.
how they're going to do it. So I think that was totally unfair. Borderline. I don't know if it was say racist, but more of status.
I call it anti-Cuban. I call it anti-Cuban because, look, if you go back to the era of Cepillo Casamayor, that was another guy that he didn't get treated as fair as he needed to be treated. In fact, Casamayor was fed a few times when he shouldn't have been, and he ruined the party for a lot of sanctioning bodies, especially with Michael Cat City. I don't know if you remember that fight. Casamayor, Michael Cat City. Casamayor was brought once again to be food for an up-and-coming fighter that had no business in the sport, or at least at the time, at that level. And the guy kept ruining, up-and-coming fighters. And he wanted a chance. He wanted a chance, and they never gave it to him. They waited until he was super old and drained to give him a shot against Marcus, who was on fire and on his prime. And what do you think? And what do you think happened? Of course, Marcus beat him. Of course, Marcus beat him. And then you saw what happened with Gamboa. Then what happened with Rigo, early Rigo, not exactly early Rigo, Lara. What we got some good boxers coming up though. Pretty soon, you guys you'll see it. But I call it more in this situation. I call it more anti-Cuban. I feel better calling it anti-Cuban than racist as of now. It might change though. It might change because the stigma has always been that, that the Cuban fighters have no backing, and they're not wrong. When I tell you that the Cuban fighters, unfortunately, we Cubans don't support Cuban athletes in America. And at the end of the day, it's a business whether we like it or not.
I think PBC Spence people had more of the power and authority to want to make this fight happen and change the mind of the sanctioning body to make this fight happen with Ugas than what Ugas did. I think it just made better sense for them, for the Spence folks, and money talks. And we know that money talks. This is a business. There's a lot of stuff behind the scenes. And yeah, there was pressure, from the folks where Ugas had he put out his statements and people backing him up and tagging the president of the WBO, right? Or WBO.
WBA.
Or the WBA. And did it have an effect? But I think at the end of the day, it came down to the Spence people. They wanted to make this fight happen, and money talks. And sanctioning bodies are going to bend to the will of the big time promoters to make things happen.
Especially if there's good money involved in it.
You're right.
And I think that also, like I said, Ugas has done the job, because had Ugas lost against Pacquiao, we wouldn't be talking about this fight right now.
No,
we really wouldn't be.
We'd be talking about Pacquiao and Spence.
Exactly.
You see what I mean? So I think the nonsense got to stop. And anybody who thinks that Spence is ducking Crawford, and look, man, I know the man has said for a long time that and I saw a video clip where he was saying, "Yo, man, I got fish still to fry on my side." You know what I mean?
I've seen that clip. Yeah, I've seen.
Yeah, that he wants it, and it's just like he's saying. Now he's gonna want to get this belt, clear this his side of the street up, and then let's make it happen.
Correct. Now, I gotta ask you. Talk to me about Winnie the Pooh versus Chavez Jr.
Make it happen. I mean, it's just it's a shit show anyway. Make it happen. I don't care. I think a lot of us would like to see that happen just to see Doughboy get knocked out. And we're talking about Chavez Jr. I think a lot of people got some type of disdain for him, but whatever.
Oh my goodness, mira quién está aquí. Hey, Punch.
Yo.
Hey, no, hold on. Yo, nothing. Yo estaba hablando aquí con HLD, and you gave him more money than you gave me out of all that money you collected on the damn host.
Diablo.
So,
Yo, my
so
fault.
what's up with
I
that?
just no, my fault that I
I could
forgot.
barely afford. I could barely afford 2 Christmas gifts for my kids, and HLD here is telling me that he got a hotel in Cancun and everything.
Diablo,
Why
my
the
fault.
difference in
My fault.
treatment, bruh?
I was a little short on you, my brother. The envelope was a little short, man. The hotel was meant for you. Porque I thought I haven't seen HLD todavía, no enseña la cara. Pues,
Oh, for real. No, pero you gave him more money than you gave me. If we,
hold on, hold
if
on.
we,
He gave me the wrong envelope, bro.
I was tripping, man.
Espera. Let me go back. Let me go back into my coma y me voy a despertar otra vez y voy a hablar con usted.
There you go. So talk to me, man. Errol Spence versus Yordenis Ugas. In your opinion, is this a good fight? And is Ugas deserving of the shot? You know, like your
I
honest
think
opinion, raw and uncut.
my honest opinion. It's gonna be a little long, but my honest opinion,
That's
and I
fine.
think that the boxing community collectively, by keep on with the Buck Crawford Earl Spence, and we want to talk about the morals of boxing and what a fighter should do, who a fighter should fight. We're simultaneously disrespecting Yordenis Ugas, because
Facts.
Yordenis Ugas is actually the guy that fought for him to have this fight. He fought his own sanctioning body to actually want this fight. He could have taken Stanionis, a come up young fighter, and it would be an easier fight, and he would get good money. He would be fighting in a network television, and he'll be earning as a champion. He could easily took that fight as a mandatory, but he wanted the legacy more than anybody else that we're talking about, the Buzz and the Spence. He wanted the legacy. He
Yep.
bothered the WBA to please let me fight Errol Spence. None of these guys has done that. So I think that in terms of technically wise, the fight I think is a good fight. I think Ugas stays in the gym, and we just know that Ugas keep trying to perfect his craft. He's not looking like he's a world beater, a special fighter. But
Okay.
if you ask any trainer, they would take a fighter like Ugas than a great talented, freak of nature fighter that don't want to work hard. Any coach
Yeah.
in any sport love a Ugas. So
Yeah.
I think
Of course.
it's a good fight between both of them. I do think that Ugas style, tailor made to Errol Spence style. You want to sit in the pocket, he want to bang. Errol Spence loves to bang. I think that Errol Spence power is limited when he don't have to sit on his punches. But with Ugas, he's gonna sit very well on his punches. Mikey Garcia, he likes to slip, he likes to bounce. So it's hard for Earl Spence to sit on his punches. He couldn't sit well on his punches versus Porter until he was in the middle of the ring, and Porter was there planted, and then Earl Spence could be planted to throw his shots. But you could see that the power of Earl Spence has decreased. I do believe it's because I think he overstayed his welcome at the welterweight division. I think he's a big guy. Um, but I think the style was tailor made. Look, the style was tailor made for both fighters, but I think when both of them sit down on their punches, um, Spence defense is a little better, and his shots, and he hits a little harder. And I think that Earl Spence was he's more of a high volume puncher. So I'll give the edge to Earl Spence on that one. But I think it will be an entertaining fight.
Absolutely. It'll be a good fight, and I do think the kid has done what it takes to be the position that he's at right now. And then your thoughts, Punch. What do you think about this one right here? I don't know if you're looking at the screen, but top right corner, Winnie the Pooh versus Chavez Jr., the potential fight between Jake Paul versus Chavez Jr. What do you think of that? I mean, we are wanting him to fight a real boxer. Chavez Jr. has already been beaten by an MMA fighter. Is this the right opponent for Jake Paul? Is Chavez Jr. going to just allow this kid to beat on him? What are your thoughts?
I think that's the right. I think that's a good opponent for Jake Paul. Jake Paul been training for 4 years. It's not like this guy just woke just woke up yesterday and walked into a gym, and I think that's why people not understanding Jake Paul. They keep on saying YouTuber. It seems like people think that YouTubers are some like YouTuber geeks,
Yeah.
like they use that to throw a shot at somebody, like, yo, you're a YouTuber, como si YouTubers, nor they not. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like they
know.
don't got no pop, they can't do nothing in life or whatever. They think YouTubers are YouTube geeks. And these guys work out. Even his brother, they work out. They've been in the gym. They've been with professional fighters, with high class trainers in the sport of boxing, professional trainers, and he's been working out tirelessly almost every day on his craft. And
Correct.
if people keep on stepping inside the ring, thinking that he's a clown when it comes to competing, they're gonna get knocked out. They're gonna get, like, people be like, hey, yo, these fighters are, watch, when somebody gets paralyzed and they're gonna stop this YouTube stuff. No. You may get paralyzed by Jake Paul. You keep not taking this kid serious while he's still trying to perfect. He's only 24 years old, so this shit is fun to him. Excuse my language. But I think it's a good fight. I think Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. do not take this. Don't take boxing serious. I still think that he's looking for who he is. I think living in the shadow of his dad. I think he tried that and he couldn't even do
feel
a
the
quarter
shoes.
of. Yeah, he couldn't not even close. You know what I'm saying? He
was
couldn't
like
even
a
feel
5.5 on a size 12.
Yeah. So I think he's still finding himself, still trying to get out the shadow, still trying to know why he's doing what he's doing. But what he knows is that his name gives him the purse. But I could see
Facts.
with the exhibitions, he's not up for the sport. He just knows that he could capitalize off the legacy of his father.
That
That's
is
what he's doing,
correct.
capitalizing off his name.
That is correct. No, and I actually said that earlier. I'm like, this kid has a fan base wherever he goes, because in part there's a lot of people that have respect for his father, but then also they go to the fights because every time he fights, his father's there. So promoters already know that whether they're there to see him or his father, they're gonna sell the tickets. They're gonna put butts in the seats. And so the rumors are that Woodley got $2 million. So my question is, why do we know what Woodley got? How do we know the pay-per-view sells for this, but we're still waiting for the Gervonta Tank Davis? But anyway, back to this subject. I think that this is the right opponent. Like I said earlier, if he beats Chavez Jr., it does me a favor. And if Chavez Jr. beats him, it does me a favor. I don't want to see neither of them in boxing, although I know I'm a hater for Paul. I know I have to become I know I have to start liking Paul somewhat, because whether I like it or not, I have the feeling he's going to be in boxing for a while. The money's just too good right now with what he's doing. And
I just, my father control. I just think that when I look at Paul, I'm not looking like, when I buy the pay-per-view, I didn't buy the pay-per-view necessarily to see Paul and Woodley. I bought the pay-per-view because of Amanda Serrano. I'm a fan of Amanda Serrano, and I think that she's just not only just one of the best women fighter, but she's just one of the best fighters of this generation, right? So it's not really about Paul, in my opinion. It's the opportunity that Paul gives. Like, yes, he's fighting, but if you look at the undercard, it's not a circus. He's putting up a Badu Jack performed before. Regis Progress for Ivan Radkach. And he got $800,000 just to fight Ivan, almost $1 million. As a matter of fact, if you look at that purse, Regis Progress had the most, earned the most purse in that telecast. So he's not coming in boxing, not giving other people opportunities, but he's also willing to take his pay cut to give everybody else their most paid earnings. So I look at him as a guy that's not taking advantage of this opportunity. Yeah, he's gonna have fun in his card, but he's giving everybody else an opportunity, and they're getting paid better than their own boxing promoter. So I think Jake Paul is actually respecting the fighter more than the boxing promoter itself. So I look at Jake Paul as being an opportunity. And if he fights 3 times in this year, he puts up an event, guess what? That's
Yeah.
that's 3 events in where he opens the door for fighters.
Yeah. Yeah. And
That's
that's
his end game, I think. I think that's his end. His end game is to be a promoter in this game. I
and I
think.
think he'll succeed at it too, man.
I think that's his end game. I'm not going to give credibility to any about taking him serious because I look. I know I'll take any amateur Golden Glove boxer
Oh
out there to
yeah.
knock him out. I
Oh yeah.
mean, knock him out. Simple as that. He is not ready for no competition of real stature. But he's good for the sport in the ways that Punch was just saying right now. And I think his end game would be to put his foot in the door as a promoter. And I think he's already on his way more than not some of these so-called boxers who say they're promoters, but they got nothing going on.
No, definitely. To be honest with the both of you, promoters have to take a look at what this kid is doing from the promotional standpoint, from the selling the ticket standpoint, from creating a show and a spectacular show, from creating the buzz. You know what I mean? Because look, I have not seen an exciting promoter like Don King in a while. I haven't seen it. Um, Oscar De La Hoya, I mean, you go to sleep whenever the man talks. Bob Arum, I mean, respectfully speaking, this is it. That's it. No more Bob Arum. Like really and truly. Um, Mayweather Jr., all he does is promotes himself instead of his fighter. So, I mean, the zone, he does a pretty decent job. He does a good job when it comes to talking. I do like the shows that he's putting. He's growing a lot more and more on me, although I wasn't a fan at the beginning. But you look at this Jake Paul kid, and although that to me he's not I don't give him the credit that he gives himself. Obviously, he has to create the persona. I think he's using the Floyd Mayweather Jr. and the Conor McGregor Jr. model. Like, I want them to hate me so they can buy my tickets, so to speak. He's putting on a good show, and he knows how to promote the show. And if he's dragging some good boxers along with him to put him on the spotlight, that's something other promoters have to take a good look at. And I wouldn't be surprised if he fights 2 or 3 more times and then says, you know what? I've had enough. I'm going to become a promoter, because I can see Jake Paul, with the mouthpiece he has, being a good promoter, talking trash about another fighter to elevate whatever fighter he's promoting, putting on a show, and then people already hating him. Oh, I can see that having a lot of financial success, in my opinion.
See, I see it like this. To be honest, when people be like, even I start off the same thing. What is this guy doing in boxing? He's messing up boxing. In reality, he's using boxing but messing up the UFC, because he's beating up MMA fighters just in a boxing form. He's
Correct.
bringing in the UFC fan base to look at him box. It's not really. I think if he was just fighting a low tier boxer, I don't think
Yeah.
he'll be having the same pop. But the thing is, we know that the UFC fans, MMA fans, are very loyal. They're following Jake Paul. This is why Jake Paul, you're gonna see him in UFC events. He's promoting
Correct.
himself for UFC. He's bringing that type of fan base to boxing when he fights. And at the end of the day, look, he's doing something good. He's doing what he needs to do. Maybe people need to capitalize, just like people feel like he's capitalizing from boxing. People need to capitalize off Jake Paul and his
Correct.
momentum. So
Yeah.
that's the way I
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
it.
Well, and also, man, I don't know. I don't know if you've noticed, he struck a nerve. He's saying the right things, because how often do you hear people call out and talk about Dana White in the way that he's done it? Not often. To people, Dana White is like this unstoppable force, and Jake Paul's just trolling Dana White. And although he might not even believe half of what he says, he knows, he has to know that it's creating a buzz. And if it's creating a buzz, it's creating paper. It's creating dollar bills. So I can see a bright promotional career for Jake Paul.
He's
Maybe.
doing it smart because look, the big heads in boxing, they're not bitching at Paul because they
Correct.
love that he's trashing Dana White. They
Yeah.
love that he's trashing Dana White.
Mhm.
So I know that the Eddie Hearns and the Bob Arams and PVC and Golden Boy Promotions, they love that this kid is trashing Dana White because he's always Dana White's at war, always going back and forth with these guys about their the monies and this and that, whatever. So that this kid is trashing Dana White, they love it. So this kid is smart. He's getting in the good graces of the big heads here in boxing while doing his thing. But they don't know is this kid is gonna be a promoter. He's gonna be a promoter in this game.
I see that coming real quick too, man. I see that coming. I honestly think right now he's creating the grounds for him to say, I've made myself known to the boxing world enough. I've made myself known to the fight world enough to where now I can announce that I'm retiring, but I'm gonna promote fights. And again, what is the job of a promoter? They gotta have the mouthpiece. They have to have the mouthpiece. In today's society, unfortunately, I do want to make sure I say that trolling is very lucrative.
Don't we know it in the last few weeks?
Oh, yeah. No me hable de eso, que todavía estoy pensando de la plata que me debe este tipo. Trolling is very lucrative. And he is a troll.
But yeah, he is, and he's good at it. I mean, he's good at it. And the thing is, he's also getting the boxers and the athletes speak highly of him. Like, yo, man, he's done this for me. He's doing that for me. I'm getting my biggest paydays. I mean, he's earning his love, his fanfare from the people by the actions that he's doing.
Definitely.
This is the era of trolls, right? And he knows the market. You know what I'm saying? Trolls know the market. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. He knows the market. Put it this way. And even let's say in the YTBC or whatever, there's a market for everything, right? If you hate on Mayweather, you gain Manny Pacquiao supporters, right?
Correct.
If you hate Deontay Wilder, you gain UK support and the Tyson Furies of the world, and Anthony Joshua support. If you hate on them, you gain Deontay Wilder support. If you talk crap about in the YTBC, people like going after the LDBC, right? Then you gain that support that people hate the LDBC. If you talk about good about the LDBC, people like you. If you
talk bad about Punch in Raw, you gain the support of Punch and Raw's retractors. That's just it.
Yeah. So it's a market for everything. It's a market for everything. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
And if you get good numbers talking trash, it's like what I give you an example. One of the guys, I checked them out, and I put a video up. I put a video up just so people can understand why people do what they gotta do. And I'm like, hey, people gotta do what they gotta do. This guy, I'm gonna say I ain't gonna say the channel, but you're gonna see it on my video. I just posted up. 5 years. 5 years, the guy has not cracked 1K. 5 years. In 5 years, he hasn't cracked 1K. He talks about me. He finally cracks 1K. The next video is another K. So it's best and it's good for him. He needs to do it now. So he's like, wow, I've been here since 2013. I haven't cracked the K for 5 years until I speak about Punch. Might as well let me trash him again because that's the only wave I could catch on my channel. So that's what they're gonna do. So it is what it is. Is a market. Jake Paul knows the market. He knows how to go after Dana White and gain the likes of like I was saying earlier, and gain the likes of other people. He likes to trash. Look, even he's making the Carissa Shields and Amanda Serrano. He's calling her the GOAT. He's creating tension. He's creating this tension. He's saying I want Canelo. The whole world, the boxing world is mad at Canelo. Yeah. He's talking trash to Dana White. Yeah, so he's just getting all the facts. He took the hat of Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather hate him, so the people that hate Floyd Mayweather like Jake Paul. So he's creating all of this, bringing in a lot of fans to watch. And after that knockout, Watch the fans. They're gonna come out. They're gonna double. His numbers is gonna double.
Yeah, yeah. And that's why I can see a very good if he remains successful in boxing, I say if he keeps beating these people up for 2, 3, maybe 4 or 5 more fights, he might be tempted to just switch over and become a full-time promoter. And I can see him easily selling out fights because he knows how to talk. He knows how to talk. And that's what's going on right now. I mean, that sells so much in boxing right now.
He's 24 years old. He ain't going nowhere as an entertainer. He ain't going nowhere no time soon.
Well, and come to think about it too, Punch. I mean, Wilder started at 21, his boxing career, right? And this kid is still young. I say he might be going in the next 2-3 years, but he might just choose to stay if he keeps doing good. You know, he might.
Yo, he could keep doing this and fighting this, and what people are gonna keep on. You better fight a boxer. You better fight a boxer. Look. He's gonna stretch this out just like boxing stretches out the anticipation. Just like boxing marinates a lot of stuff. When he wants to fight a boxer, he's gonna fight a boxer. But as long as he's getting good numbers, he's gonna keep doing what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't Ugas, Errol Spence, we want Bud. But you gonna watch Errol Spence and Bud. But y'all cállense la boca.
Yeah.
Right?
And
it
it's
gonna
happen on their term. It's gonna happen on their term, not on our term. It's gonna happen whenever they decide to get it done. That's it.
That's the way boxing always works. It's always on boxing's term. They never go and be like, so we need to make this fight happen because the fans the fans need this right now. You think that what happens in the boardroom?
Yeah, nah.
Never happens in the boardroom.
Definitely
not. And the Amir Khan versus Kell Brook is the prime example of why things are the way it is. I thought, I said in the video, I thought that Amir Khan and Kell Brook was expired milk. So no way, that's it. Nobody's into that fight. It's way a long time. They're over their prime. They're over the hill. They look washed up. They got no belts on the line. First day, sold out.
Yep. That's it. And all they did was carry on the nostalgia, the story, the history behind it, and then shoved each other up. That's it. That's all it took for them to completely sell it out. You know, they went out there, they faced each other face to face, they pushed each other, and now the enthusiasm for this fight is back at the same level that it was 10 years ago, or 9 years ago. You know what I mean? So,
yeah,
we'll see. You know, we'll see. But man, I need to appreciate both of you because I got to keep this one short for tonight. Any last words before we go, Punch? I mean, I gotta
go back to my coma and wake up. You know, whenever I wake up and stuff like that, until it's in my bathroom break in the middle of the night or something like that.
Y mi plata, ¿dónde están los chelitos míos?
Nah, I got you and stuff. You know, I'm still looking for that GoFundMe that people say it is, because damn, somebody's making some money off of me, man. I want a piece of that. I want a piece of whatever GoFundMe. I want a piece of that.
Most def. HLD, talk to me.
Real quick on this. Just, I think you said it best earlier, Ranger and Punch. It's the first time I'm talking to you, bro. Since damn, man, over 3 weeks now. I think you said it best earlier. We are men. We're men of faith, and to extend our prayers and to wish well upon someone who's asked that from us is what a man of faith does, is to give that and spread the word. That's what real men do of faith.
Correct.
Without judgment, without thought, without needing something from it. It doesn't cost me a damn thing to wish someone well, whether he's my friend, whether he's someone like you guys. I mean, you guys are YouTube guys to me, right? And I only know you guys from here.
Correct.
regardless, I'm going to extend that to you, to my enemy, which is what thy word says. And
Correct.
so if that's what I'm gonna do that. I don't care for what any reason. My grandfather once taught me when I used to say, man, why, I used to say, man, I'm not gonna give this money to this homeless guy. He might be a crackhead. And my grandfather had corrected me, and I'm like, no, that's not up to you. You give it without judgment.
Correct.
Let them deal with it, and whatever they do with it, that's between them and God.
That's it. That's
And
it.
so I have I have no I have absolutely no reason not to believe
Me
Punch.
neither.
I mean, besides what a troll just says because he says so, and all the detractors who've been saying it are people who didn't like Punch, who
Yep.
were already enemies of Punch, who were, we know, just acting the double,
Double agent.
double edged, saying both sides are trying to be homies and not for whatever damn reason it is. And those are the only people that are coming at this man. Again, Punch, I'm here. I'll tell you, if it was true, I prayed for you, and if it was not true, I still prayed for you, and I still do. And that's not up to me to judge. That's not up to me to judge. I guess the unfortunate thing beyond all this is that people take advantage of the situation, then go above and beyond. If you have a question, ask Punch himself.
That's it.
Ask Punch himself. That's why, go ask him, bro. Ranger's not his keeper. I am not his keeper. What the fuck? You know what I mean? I don't. We don't owe any explanation to none of you mothers out there. I mean, shit. Ranger's married. He got checked quickly on the chat. He owes explanation to only one person. That's his wife.
That's it.
You know what I mean? And so that's all we owe it to. It's just unfortunate that we are in a troll world, and yeah, it's costing me to bite my tongue, because I mean I'll say, I go against any of them to talk to Ish with them, but I know that's only going to give them more clout to their cause,
Nice.
and I know that. I'm not, we're not stupid, but again, I think it's unfortunate that many have been in a cross-eyed and with our names in their mouths. I never call anyone out.
That's it.
I don't do none of that stuff. I don't do that. But guess what? My name is always in their mouths. Like, damn. And I don't even have a channel.
Can you imagine if you did though?
So I look again, Punch. I prayed for you. I still do. I pray for all of you guys. And any panel that I'm on, I try to wish, hey man, blessings to everyone on the panel. Wish everyone a good night. Whatever it is, to whoever it is. Whether somebody even had a back and forth hard argument on a panel. I'm not wishing you ill, and I'm not wishing you. Hey, we had a heated discussion. Sometimes it gets out of hand. But I know at the end of any type of panel that I'm on, I try to, man, blessings to everyone on the panel, and we keep it moving. So that's all I got to say to that. I don't want to, I know I've talked a little bit much on it, but I just want to just put that out there as it is. If you truly are someone of faith, you know that you do that blindly, and you give that con el poder de Dios se encarga de todo. The power of God, he's in charge of everything. And if there's anyone to judge, it's going to be thy him. Exactly. And that's it. We all live, a lot of people throwing stones when they live in glass houses. They live in glass houses, I mean, you got 40-year-old virgins, basement dwellers, God knows what the heck is going on in their lives. And they're trolling hard to try to make something out of nothing. That's not even about boxing.
Yeah.
So, I just want to keep that moving. Wish everybody the best. Thank you for the time here. Ranger, Punch, much love. Blessings to everyone. Listen.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Punch, anything else?
Bless you, my brother. Bless you. Oh, yeah, man. Hey.
Yeah.
Piggybacking off that is, hey, man, I pray for everybody, man. My supporters, the followers, friends, family, haters, atheists, whatever, man.
Yeah,
hey, man. I'm happy. I'm happy I'm alive. I'm happy I see my kids. I'm happy to have camaraderie with genuine people. And that's it. That's it. That's
I'm
all
not
I can
happy.
say,
I'm not
man. And
happy
I hope
de que tú
that,
me debes unos chelos a mí. You gave HLD
man,
more than you gave me.
man. Oh, this guy money from the Invincible GoFundMe, and you know what I'm saying, and the Cash App.
I think it fell through. Yeah, for
I mean,
sure.
the super chats,
The super.
the super chats that I gained that I didn't go live. I want to know. I'm still trying to figure out how to do it. Um, but it is what it is, you know.
For
Let them
sure.
have fun, and they can have fun. I'm alive. I'm alive
For
and
sure.
well, and you know, and
For
maybe
sure.
this, guys, maybe is your prayers of the downfall is what maybe God blessed me with the recovery that a lot of people is mad at. You know what I'm
Could
saying?
be.
Maybe it's that. Maybe it's the evil prayers that others have done that God le está echando su agüita de holy water. Mira, toma, este muchacho está bien, oíste.
I just got to say this before we close. If you are of the opinion that somehow me and HLD and Punch struck a deal to create a hoax, to capitalize financially from a hoax, if you are of the opinion that men of faith have to have reasons to believe before praying for somebody, if you are of the opinion that men of faith, when they get a prayer request, they have to have evidence as to the reason for their prayers,
Stop it. Get some help.
get some help. Raw Boxing TV, in collaborations with Punch Drunk Boxing and HLD, we are out. God bless.